Hey everyone, good morning. This is Beth Knaus from That's a Spade Copywriting Services, and I'm here with your Monday Minutes, something for you to think about as you go through your week. And I spoke to a group about a week or so ago, and one of the things we talked about was writing compelling copy, but also using it, right? Using that content and repurposing it moving forward. And people were, concerned that if you write something and you keep putting it back out there, are people like, why aren't you writing something fresh? And the thing is, if you're writing something and people are engaging with it, or they're responding, or they're liking and hearting what you put out there, it means that they're connecting to what it is. So you can take that content and you can break it up, or you can extend it, or you can add it with another image. And you want to keep putting those successful posts and blogs out there because people are engaging with it. And that's really what you want, is for people to connect with what you're saying. And that's how you figure out what are people connecting with. So I was thinking about what could I compare this to? And one of my favorite things to analyze is commercials, and particularly insurance company commercials. So if you think about, if you're watching TV, the commercials that come through. So the first thing you might see is the Allstate commercial, which has the stunt guy, right? Or maybe it's farmers, where the jingle, dun, 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 right? We are farmers. And what does he say? We know how to insure a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. And then there is, let me see, I have a list. There is State Farm. Who doesn't love Jake from State Farm? He's so wonderful. And even the woman who delivers his food, she gives him that gallon of ranch dressing, right? Here you go. You're the man, she tells him. She gives him all this food. And he's like, I don't need that food. It doesn't make any difference. We treat people well no matter what. And we know that, right? These things stick with us. Another company who does that are pharmaceutical companies, right? Think about a pharmaceutical commercial and what's happening, right? There's some sort of light, enjoyable, like high energy music playing. And for instance, there's a lot of pharmaceuticals for eczema. And they show people, in tank tops, and they're not self-conscious of their skin, and this medicine works. And there's all these smiling people, and there's some jingle that goes with the weird pharmaceutical names. I mean, somebody has to come up with better names, but anyway, I digress. But meanwhile, like in a very low tone, somebody's speaking really quickly and saying, if you're allergic, don't take it, and you could die, and you could have a heart attack, and you could develop colitis, and you could this, and you could that. But you're not paying really attention to that because you're watching how happy the people are with the results from taking that medication. So they're saying what they have to say, but they're also lightening the whole thing and telling you this is the outcome. You're going to love it, right? And same thing with the insurance commercials. They're telling you something funny to lighten it up because we're always like, oh gosh, I have to pay for insurance, which of course we do, and we need it. But at the same time, it's based on fear and uncertainty. So they want to balance that out. And not that that's necessarily how you write your content, but what I want to point out is that you see these things again and again, and you remember them, right? And you remember those company names, and you know what their brand is, what their message is based on how they communicate that through their commercials. So your social posts and your blogs, they are like your commercials. They are your advertising. So think about that and think about what people are engaging with. And I'll leave you with one thing. We're going to talk about Liberty Mutual, because Liberty Mutual has a commercial. It's outside, right? It looks like it might be on a boat, and you can see the Statue of Liberty, right? Liberty Mutual. And there's one where this young man comes up, he's in a leather jacket, he's a handsome, actor guy, and he can't remember his lines. And he's like, Liberty Bibberty, or, cut, or line, or whatever. And he can't really get it right. And that's great. And I like those Liberty Mutual commercials, but at the same time, they're running those Limu the Emu commercials, which I might like if I hadn't seen the other ones. But when I see them, I ask myself, what is Liberty Mutual doing? These are two different personas, and I don't like them both. So, and you might like them all, but that's somebody whose messaging isn't quite clear to me as somebody who writes content. So you can think about that. You'll be watching those commercials a little more closely. And I'd love to chat more. I'd love to hear what your favorite commercials are, or industries that do really well with commercials and advertising and clear messaging. And I hope that you have a great week.